The door closed behind them. Silence, far too quiet for a city that never sleeps. The elevator. They stood side by side, not touching. The numbers on the panel flickered downward. 23, 22, 21. Max stared at the reflection in the metallic wall. Two silhouettes, almost perfectly still. The break. "You knew you would come," Elina said. It was not a question. Max did not turn his head. "No, but I knew I couldn't stay away." She nodded, as if that was the only answer that mattered. The glitch. The elevator stopped, suddenly. The light stayed on, but the motion died. The silence. Not an accident, not a panic, just a suspension, as if the system had simply frozen in time. The look. Max looked at her. "Is this part of your demonstration?" She didn't answer immediately. No. And that word carried more weight than any yes ever could. The space. They were caught between floors, between levels, between decisions. The question. "What happens after?" Max asked. "After what?" "After you remove the interface." Silence. She slowly turned toward him. The answer. "A person is left alone with their choice," she said. And for the first time, they realize they don't know how to choose. The argument. "That isn't true," Max said. She tilted her head slightly. "Then tell me, how many of your decisions today were actually yours?" He opened his mouth to speak, then closed it. Deeper. She stepped closer, but she did not touch him. "You think freedom is the opportunity to choose, but freedom is the ability to endure the consequences of that choice." The second. Max looked at her. For the first time, he wasn't trying to win the conversation. "Then what are you doing?" he asked softly. "I am removing the illusion," she said, "and I am watching to see who remains." The realization. "And most people just disappear?" he asked. She didn't answer, and that was enough. The shift. The elevator didn't move, but something inside had changed. Personal. "And what about me?" Max asked again. She looked directly into him. "For a long time. You have begun to see. You didn't endure it. You didn't pass. You simply begun." The turn. He took a step closer. Now there was almost no distance between them. "And what comes next?" She looked at him, and this time her gaze wasn't just calculated. It was something less stable. "Next, you decide," she said. The tension. "No," Max said quietly. "This is your system." She smiled faintly. "Not anymore." The break. He frowned. "Explain." She raised her hand. She lightly touched the elevator panel. "You think the system is code, but the system is you inside of it." The point. The elevator jerked. The light flickered. It stopped again, but differently this time. The choice. A button lit up on the panel. One button. No number. No label. Just light. The void. Max looked at it. "What is this?" "It is the way out," she said. "To where?" She didn't answer. The meaning. He understood. This wasn't a physical choice. This wasn't about a floor. Closer. "If I press it?" he asked. She watched him very closely. "Then you stop being an observer, and you become a part of it. Control. Part of your system?" "No," she said softly. "Your own." The stillness. Seconds stretched out. The city somewhere above lived its own life, but here, everything depended on a single movement. The moment. Max looked at the button, then at her. "And you?" he asked. "I am already inside," she said. The last question. "And is that freedom?" She did not smile. "That is the price." The final scene. Max slowly raised his hand, not rushing, not on impulse, with intention. And for a split second, he stopped. The last line. For the first time in his life, he wasn't looking for the right answer. He was choosing. No one saw if he pressed the button, not even himself. The elevator doors opened. No sound, no jolt. It felt as if the movement happened not in space, but within him. The city, New York, was the same, yet it was completely different. Traffic lights shifted, people rushed, coffee shops hummed. But now it wasn't just background noise. Now it was visible. Max. He stood on the street, alone, without her, without the system, without the interface. The phone was in his hand, a regular screen, no zenith, no prompts. Silence. For a second, he felt it again, the void, the very thing that started it all. Impulse. The phone vibrated, a notification, an ad, a discount, bright, fast, direct. His finger twitched, automatically. The gap. Then he stopped. Not because someone forced him, not because the system intervened, but because he saw the moment. The difference. Before, there was no space between stimulus and action. Now, that space existed, infinitesimal, but real. Breath. He exhaled slowly and put the phone away. Movement. Max started walking, without a destination, just forward. The city no longer guided him, but he didn't try to control the city either. They simply coincided. Memory. He remembered her, not as a threat, not as an error, but as a point. The point where everything changed. The question? Was it manipulation? Yes. Was it the truth? Also yes. Understanding. He hadn't lost control. He simply realized for the first time that he never had any. And he thought, "It is time to play by my rules."